Okie dokie, let's have a look at Tilo herb. Turns out Tilo is Linden, because here in Uruguay they call it Tilo, and I was asked to look into this. This is for Aileen White, thanks for donating, and it turns out it's Linden. I don't think I've shot a video on this before, I hope not, but let's look into it. So it's a water willow. And yeah, widely known as Tilo in Latin America and Cuba. Let's have a look at the traditional uses here. Relaxant and general tonic. Remember, a tonic is something you can take at low doses for a long time, basically. Wow, additionally, it is often used in ayahuasca, a tea containing Banisterius cuppi. So they're actually using Tilo in the ayahuasca because it helps relax, I guess. I wonder why else, if there's another reason. Interesting. It's a source of coumarin. And, you know, actually, if you haven't looked into coumarin, it's one of those molecules you should look into because it has, like, a lot of benefits to it, to the human body. Like, you should look into cannabis. Oh, here we go. It is also admixed to Epena Varola. Varola is a snuff. Remember, they use Varola as a snuff, like I think a psychedelic sort of snuff, or some kind of snuff. Might be like cocaine or something. I'm not sure what it does, but Varola is a snuff. Yep, to make it smell more pleasant. So they add the Tilo with the Epena Varola. It's interesting. In particular, variety var Stenophylla might also be hallucinogenic in certain preparations. It's known to Oaxacas, the shamans of the Crajos or Crajo tribe in Brazil, who know that variety as mashihiri and consider it a potent entheogen. Interesting. And not to be taken by the uninitiated. Leaves of the Angel of Death is how they refer to this. This is something else. Let's have a quick look. Okay. And we are looking at, oh, hold on, we are looking at a Justica pectoralis. Oh, so another variety of Tilo. Might even be psychedelic. Yeah, look. Interesting. So we're looking at Linden, which is pectoralis, and... Or is it the same thing? Are they talking about it? This is it. Let's have a look here, we've got to find this out. Maybe this is a different variety. What did it say there? It's also mixed with that. In particular, might also be hallucinogenic. But, oh, so that is what we're looking at, or what? Seems like it. Okay. Yeah, wow, okay. So they're saying it might be hallucinogenic. It's definitely a variety of pectoral. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, so it's a variety, yeah, that's why I said var. So this Stenophylla variety of pectoralis, or Tilo, is the one they're talking about, used by the shamans, which may be hallucinogenic and called the Angel of Death or something. Leaves of the Angel of Death. Its name likely comes from the fact it has killed 3 curanderos. So, oh, interesting. Right. So watch out. Make sure you have the right herb. Okay, it says here Justica pectoralis leaves are used to alleviate cold, flu, including running nose, fever, cough, headaches, weakness, loss of appetite, vomiting. It's got chemicals such as betaine. That's in beetroot. Justicidin B, umbelliferone, benzopyrene, and various coumarins as well. Interesting. Yeah, coumarin and umbelliferone are thought to have relaxant, anti-inflammatory properties, aromatic properties, blood thinner. Interesting. Jungle plant. Okay. So that's interesting, but make sure you check what you have for sure, because it's this variety that it seems to be hallucinogenic or might be hallucinogenic and has killed some shamans. So Tilia is a genus of 30 species of trees, lime bushes, okay. The name Tilo could be association with Tilia. These are the Linden trees. These are entirely unrelated eudiocots whose flowers have similar relaxant properties. Right, the water willows are not relatives of the true willows either, like the lindens, the latter being to the rossid branch of eudicots. If any professional like botanist is watching this, feel free to comment under this video, please, if we've confused ourselves here. But I think I understand what it's saying here. Okay, so Tilo is not Tilia. The linden trees. Okay, the water willows are not relatives of the true willows. Okay. Alright, let's get into it then. Let's have a look at the uses from drugs.com. Let's see what they say. Here it's saying Tilia cordata mill, so this is not the one we're talking about. Linden has been used, but now it's saying Linden has been used to induce sweating for feverish colds and infections, to reduce nasal congestion. It's a sedative effect, treat nervous palpitations and high blood pressure, and can relieve itchy skin in lotions. But what are we talking about here? Linden trees belong to the Tillacea family, which consists of nearly 80 species. Right, but now we're mentioning Tilia, which is not what we were just reading about, was it? I'm a little bit confused. Okay, since the Middle Ages, the flowers of linden tree have been used to promote sweating, alleviate arterial blood pressure, diarrhea, bladder disorders, arteriosclerosis, nervous tension, ingestion. What's the recommended dosage? No more than 2 to 4 grams per day of linden in teas or other preparations for internal use should be consumed. There are no recent clinical studies support specific dosage, so from so far what we've read, we should be careful with this one. Linden flower is cardiotoxic, therefore linden should not be consumed by patients with a history of heart disease. Avoid use because of the lack of data if you're pregnant. So be careful with this one and use it in small doses, I think, unless you really know what you're doing. Okay, reports exist of specific toxicity such as contact urticaria, allergy from tilia fruit oils in rats, seasonal pollinosis, pesticide residues in linden-containing beverages, and contact dermatitis and rhinoconjunctivitis from exposure to linden wood sawdust in the workplace. So that's just from the sawdust as well. Can do heart damage, okay, in rare cases. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so be careful with this one. Let's have a look what WebMD has to say. Linden is a tree. The dried flower, leaves, wood are used for medicine. Some people take linden leaf for cold, stuffy nose, sore throat, breathing problems, bronchitis, headaches, including sinus and migraine, fever, to make it easier to bring up phlegm by coughing, so it's an expectorant. It is also taken by mouth for rapid heartbeat, high blood pressure, excessive bleeding or hemorrhage, nervous tension, trouble sleeping, insomnia, excessive excitement, hysteria, problems with bladder control, incontinence, and muscle spasms. Okay, so the wood is taken by mouth for liver disease and gallbladder disease, and for infection and swelling beneath the skin or cellulitis. Charcoal made from linden wood is taken by mouth for intestinal disorders, so like activated charcoal. In infants, linden tea is used for a calming effect, but I wouldn't use it on my infant after what I've read, and that it's not well studied or known. So far we've read if, buts and maybes, yeah? So be cautious with this one. It's used for itchy skin, joint pain, rheumatism, lower leg wounds, ulcus crurus, caused by poor blood circulation. It seems to reduce the amount of mucus produced and relieve anxiety, but more information is needed. So let's have a look here. So up here it's saying basswood, Bios de Tilo, European linden. Don't want to read those names. Linden dried flower, linden dried sapwood, silver linden, Tilo vulgaris. So look, there's a lot of varieties being mentioned here. So you don't know, really what they're talking about. So this is not a well-studied one by the looks of it. Bloating, I see there, add bloating to the possible list. Yeah, look, it could have its uses, but when something is a little dangerous like this, there's probably a better herb, which is possibly able to do the same things. So, anyway, linden, lithium interacts with linden. Linden might have an effect like a water pill or a diuretic. Taking linden might decrease how well the body gets rid of lithium. This could increase how much lithium is in the body and result in serious side effects. Okay. Alright. Let's have a look at what they say for dosing here. The appropriate dose of linden depends on several factors, such as the user's age, health, other conditions. No dosage recommendation. So look, it doesn't look too well researched. I'd be careful with this one. I would use it maybe in a tincture in a small amount, possibly in a mix with other herbs. And you would make sure that you put on the label or tell the person buying it to be careful. Or, don't give it to anyone at all and use it for yourself for a couple of years before you even think about giving it to anyone else. Which is probably what I'm going to do. I have had this before and I just really got a relaxing effect from it. Psychedelia, onoregan, entheogen? No, not really. I can imagine if you mix it with ayahuasca, yeah, probably. But, because you're going to put the MAO inhibition in the ayahuasca mix as well, so anyway. Two different linden trees, Tilia cordata, the small-leaf European linden, also known as winter linden, or Tilia platyphyllos. Notice these are both different names from what we've already looked into on the original Wikipedia article there. But they're different scientific names already. There isn't strong scientific evidence to support medicinal use, that's what I was saying, so that's even reiterated by verywellfit.com. Let's just see how to make the tea. 2 to 4 tablespoons of leaves in the teacup. Heat the water to 90-95 degrees. Listen, you don't have to boil your water because you can make a leukocytic reaction in your body, which means the white blood cells react to cooked water. Because if you boil your water, you're cooking it. And remember, we've learnt that Sorry, the recording cut out. Okay. So what we've learnt is that when you heat water up to 100 degrees, you're cooking it, and you can get a white blood cell reaction. So you don't need to you don't need to boil water. You can heat it up to 80 degrees and still leach out all the compounds that you desire. Yeah, leave it up to 15 minutes and it'll do it even better. Okay. Strain loose leaves from the cup before drinking because nobody knows how to make a tea. Actually, I leave a lot of leaves in my teas, and it acts like fibre to pull things out, you see. So sometimes, and often actually, I leave leaves in my tea and actually ingest them. Depending on the size, obviously. I'm not going to... Well, sometimes even like if I have a laurel or a bay leaf in my tea, I'll chew it up. Why not? It's anti-fungal, anti-blah blah blah, antimicrobial, antibacterial and all that good stuff. Right, anyway, so Linden tea is not a tea. In the traditional sense, it is not made from the leaves of Camellia sinensis plant, and now we're mentioning another plant. Oh, this is normal tea, isn't it? Yeah, sinensis plant. Like black tea or green tea, it is brewed just parts of the linden tree, which does not contain any caffeine. Therefore, linden tea is completely caffeine free. I don't know why they even added this. It's not a tea. What? I don't even want to entertain that. They're just saying it has no caffeine. Okay. Cardiovascular problems, but it can also create that at high doses by the looks of things. And it seems a little bit of a psychedelic aid thing because it looks like it possibly is an ordeal poison at some high dose. That certain variety that killed the curandos back there that we read in Wikipedia. Because if you're getting excessive sweating and stuff, it can kind of be a bit of an ordeal poison possibly as well. And that's, you know, borders on shamanic sort of things, and let's not talk about that. Anyway. Okay. Glycosides, flavonoids, relieve excess gas, side effects, here we go. It's generally regarded as safe by US Food and Drug Administration. Okay. We did just read several curandos have died from it though. Okay, anyway, let's move on from this article. Organicfacts.net, let's see what they have to say. I keep seeing Tilo now, so not Tilo anymore, but I think we're still talking about the same thing. Lime or basswood. Tilia cordata now we're discussing is the strongest type of tree in terms of medicinal effects. It's commonly known as little leaf linden. This wide variety can be found throughout Europe, Western Asia, 80 feet in height. The flowers are most commonly used. Oh, okay, so most people use the flowers of it apparently, and primarily because of the potency of linden flower tea. Okay, very powerful. Again, the power is mentioned, so I don't think it is actually a tonic. In my opinion, tonics are things that you can take quite often and not have such scary effects, and that's what a tonic is as well. There's other definitions to define a tonic, but one of the definitions is that it's something you can take like often at reasonable or low doses. Like a medicine often is something you take more sparsely, less often, but you do a massive high dose. You're trying to really do something with it. A tonic is a tonifier. It's something like when you work out, do pull-ups on a tree, you're going to have to do that for a few months, Anyway, so, let's see. High concentration of phytonutrients, flavonoids, and other diaphoretic substances. I don't know what that means. I have a feeling it's got to do with the diaphragm. No. Inducing perspiration or heavy sweating. Okay. That's a picture of it there. I think I've seen this around. Well, we're going to have a look into some pictures in a minute. Actually, let's go to pictures now. See what we find. Okay. This white flower here. Tilo. What does that say on it? Okay. Alright. So look at a few different types of leaves there shown. Look at all these different types of leaves. So if you want to start using this as like your new medicine or something, I suggest you really look into this further. Because to me it looks like it might be a little gnarly. Relieves anxiety. Okay, let's open this up here. Let's see what this one is. So that looks different. Alright, anyway. Relieves anxiety, apparently. I did get that. Reduce mental stress, definitely, I felt that. If you suffer from mood swings, yeah, I would say that it would affect your mood swings, for sure. Prevents chronic disease. Compounds like quercetin and camphorol. Well, actually, they are good for the heart, so that's interesting. Free radical scavengers. Cellular respiration from your system. Okay, so yeah, these two, they eliminate harmful byproducts of cellular respiration from your system and improving your overall health by preventing chronic disease. And they do have a reference that you could look into. This is from organicfacts.net. Let's have a look. P-cumaric acid is another very beneficial organic compound found in Linden. Diaphoretic. Okay. Releasing toxins along with excess salt, fat, water and foreign substances. Prevent permanent damage to organ systems. Reduces cold and flu. Immune system booster, apparently. I would say, yeah, I did feel that. That general feeling. You feel that with other herbs as well. Like you've got a new type of energy because it's boosting your immunity. That's how it sort of feels. Hard to explain. You have to feel the energetic nature of every herb you take, and you'll start to see the differences and similarities between them, like when they say it boosts your immune system and all this. Tension, headaches, inflammatory conditions including arthritis, gout, lowers blood pressure. Yep. There's a little list. Reduce coughing and irritation on the throat. Tension and headaches. Prevents cancer. Antioxidants. Apparently various types of cancer because of the quercetin and coumarin causing apoptosis. And they do have a reference there, number 8. So you could look into that. Now see, this looks different. Improves digestion, constipation, cramping, bloating. Another reference there. Word of caution. People have allergies. Don't have more than 3 cups a day. Watch out if you have heart disease. Thanks, John Staunton, the author. Alright, let's look in livestrong.com. Used for centuries, apparently. Basswood being mentioned here. Again, Tila cordata mentioned. Here we go, there's that Tila platyphyllos, and remember that was the one that was used with the ayahuasca and could be hallucinogenic. So that was the one that is possibly causing people to have problems as well. So be careful. Alright, let's see here. Flavonoids, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so apparently it gets out chemicals, and it's a bit of an expectorant. Not much new here. We've already covered this. You can look at a study published in 2008 issue of Journal of Ethnopharmacology, apparently. Okay, the journal found that Linden extract lengthened the sedation time in animals who received sleep-inducing drugs. So it sort of acts like a bit of a sedative. Alright. Causes water loss from the body or edema. So reduce your edema, which a lot of fat people have edema. And thanks for donating, and I hope you learned something.